zoom out and just look at it like, hey, this isn't the month isn't one in one day or 2 days or even a week. It's 21 trading days typically in a month. You got to look at the bigger picture, or it's the year. So it's that bigger picture that really helped me if I was on a string of 5 losses in a row, which that's never fun, or five days in a row, 6 days in a row.
Mhm.
The bigger time frame helps put it into perspective.
How much of having a family, a wife and young kids at home helped keep you accountable to those rules?
Yeah, very much so, because when I started, so so August of last year, I told myself, all right, I'm professionally trading for my income. So when I first started, my wife would ask me at the end of every day, all right, well, what was your profit today? What did you make today? Which was put some pressure on me, but she had believed in me to be home, so I owed her that. So knowing that, all right, got to give her a report here, did put some pressure. Now I wasn't perfect, obviously, that Nvidia short that reversed on me. But just knowing that, if I blow up my account, because this is real money, this is my money. I didn't go the route of a funded account. If I blew up that account, then I blew up our financial situation for our family. So I had to be vigilant about it. And not to say that I was all the time, obviously, but I have grown in that area very much so.
Did having the pressure of the wife, kids, the money's coming from you, there's no other real source of income really coming in at that point. Did that make losing more pressure on your trading in general, or did that make a loss feel a lot different than it should have been?
Yeah, yeah, it did, because my monthly take home as a high school principal after taxes was 8,600. So that's what I was trying to generate to replace early on. And so, I had it broken down what I needed for a daily profit, which I think was like $396 per day. So I would set those targets, and I would have a spreadsheet every day. I'd input my win or my loss. So there was a level of pressure. At the end of that first month, I made like $4,800, and I was like, man, I'm I'm below what I needed to make. But at the same time, I was like, hey, $4,800 is pretty good to start. So yeah, I did feel pressure from that. You know, because some of those other side streams that I was hoping for to work out didn't. So trading had to, amplify a little bit, if you
So
will.
so for you now, I mean, still got the wife, the kids. There's still pressure. Do you think that's the same type of pressure for you? If not, how have you made that change?
So I don't feel the pressure anymore, because I feel like I guess, how do I say this? And not, I don't want to sound like I'm coming off like I'm like an amazing trader, because I still have so much to learn. But the profits that I've generated since I began, and the size of my account, I really I don't have to rely on, you know, I don't have the pressure that I have to make something every day. Um, trading has been really, really good to me, especially over the last couple of months, that, um, I don't have that pressure anymore.
Now, I wanted to know, knowing what you know now, do you think that it's possible to even win every day? Because I hear that a lot about people putting daily targets in place and the ramifications of that. Either you hit the target and then you quit trading for the day, even though, you might have been really on fire, and those are the days that you should be trading more. And then continuing to fight and continuing to trade when you shouldn't be trading, because you're trying to get back some losses because you have that target set in your head. Knowing what you know now, do you think that that's even possible, or is that something people should shy away from?
I mean, that's a great question. I definitely over traded early on, way too much, to in comparison now, I maybe take 1 to 2 trades a day. And I typically will trade the market open until about 11:30, and that's it. And I'll check back in at 2. But yeah, you can, I mean, some of the trades early on, I would be in the green and then I would go to red. So, and I think that was just a product of chasing that target and that number.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think I learned so much through that process by taking all those trades that I don't know if my learning would have been as accelerated if I didn't. But no, I don't think it's the right way to go. I would never recommend it. I think it made sense for me in the scenario that I was in.
Right. Right. And do you think it's possible to win every single day?
Jeez, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, yeah, that's really hard.
Yeah. I wanted that out there because I know there's a lot of people that think that way, especially ones that are looking to transition and replace an income, because that's exactly what they do is they break it down and they go, okay, well, this is what I need. And then they break it down to a daily level, making it just bite-sized little goals. But the reality is you need to think of it as an average per day. That's kind of what you need to do. And in order to get an average, you need days that you're going to have low numbers and days you're going to have high numbers, and you have to work within that boundary to accomplish your goal. Otherwise, yeah, you're setting some goals and some boundaries and some parameters in front of you that are just going to smack you in the face and take you out of the game a lot earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. And whenever I have, if I'm having a slow start to a month or just thinking back, I would always zoom out and just look at it like, hey, this isn't the month isn't one in 1 day or 2 days or even a week. It's 21 trading days typically in a month. You got to look at the bigger picture, or it's the year. So it's just it's that bigger picture that really helped me if I was on a string of 5 losses in a row, which that's never fun, or five days in a row, 6 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger time frame helps put it in perspective.
What would you say? Oh, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I don't think you're necessarily you have to win every single day, and it is crazy because when you're trading, you could go through the strings of losses, but you really only need 1 or 2 good trades a month, and like what else are you supposed to do the rest of the time, right? A lot of times you're just battling. You're up, you're down, you're up, you're down, and then you get like a crazy breakout day or crazy 2 days, and that's all you need, and then your month can hit. And I think a lot of what makes trading difficult is the fact that, especially you come from a 9 to 5 job, you get a paycheck every single week, every 2 weeks, whatever it is, you count on it, it's there. And but you show up, you're earning something toward the paycheck.
Yeah.
Trading, it's like, man, I lost. And then you have that one big day and people get discouraged along the way to really get over that hump. So it's sticking with it. I think the most successful people in this, the people that have all the money in this, they have the same exact struggles that every single person that I had, you had, Tracy had, anybody in the chat, whoever's listening, it's all the same. Like nothing really changes in terms of struggles. Just financial backgrounds, where people grow up, where they came from. Like, yeah, that could weigh onto it, but the market's going to be the market, right? And it's just how you deal with the losses, and can you show up the next day? Can you get back on the horse? Can you trade? Because your bigger career is your next trade. That could be the one that really sets your tone for the month, and then nothing else really mattered, right? It's very strange.
It's all about laying the foundation, right? Laying that foundation.
And I always feel like the bigger losses that I've had, it seems like within a week and a half, I always have an equivalent win or a bigger win, to where it's like, wow, it's just, it does come down to just believing. And at the end of the day, it's mathematics, it's probabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're 50%, you can make your losers smaller, your winners larger. It's just math.
Yeah. Now, you've said that you overtraded a lot, and that had given you an opportunity to, I guess, experience the market in a faster, more accelerated way than you would have if you've been taking 1 or 2 trades a day. I'm curious what the biggest lesson you learned during that entire time. Do you remember what that might have been?
The biggest lesson is that, and again, it's going to sound so counterintuitive to my story, but if you can go slow with trading and be more gradual, I feel like you can avoid a lot of expensive mistakes,
Mhm.
because I think when you try to rush this process, that's when you can really get broken and beat up. And I was trying things that I had no clue what I was doing. I'm like, oh, hey, there's a bare candle above the 10 EMA. Meanwhile, I didn't recognize at that point that it's in the second peak in a double top, and it's all time high. So you don't know what you don't know.
Mhm.
And so, if just trading is gradual, if you can take your time with it and be patient and give yourself the time, I feel like that's the better way to do it, as opposed to just, jumping into the fire.
Yeah, that's very cool. Now, Jeremy, I was actually really looking forward to having you on the show today because, as far as I'm concerned, you being a principal, and I knew you had been in the education department, I consider you a professional. I consider you an expert in the field. And we've not had someone with that expertise on the show yet. And I would love to discuss trading with kids, the education, all that kind of stuff, what you think is appropriate, what you don't think is appropriate. So I want to start out by asking, first of all, do you teach your children how to trade?
Oh, 100%. So my oldest son, Roland, who is 8, we are progressively working through the young adults trading course on the dashboard. So we go through that. All my kids know what candlesticks are. Even my 5-year-old daughter, who says she wants to be a day trader like daddy when she gets older. My 3-year-old's still a little bit young, but no, they're going to know the markets. I don't expect them to be traders, but I want them to at least understand money and how to make it work for you, because I almost feel like it's my fatherly duty to teach them that.
How old or how young do you think they could be before you could start introducing that kind of financial information into their lives?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you could 5 or 6, you can get into some generalities with it, but I think as it becomes more specialized and specific, like my 8-year-old right now, he's pretty sharp with math. He gets the candlesticks and the 4 different parts, and how to look at the charts and things. So, I think you could start at any age. It's going to be a different type of content that you're delivering depending on the age group, right? Because I couldn't introduce Fibonacci retracements or get into Elliott waves, at that age. But, basics of, the candlesticks, the types of candlesticks, that works. So I think it's just about seeing what's appropriate and just kind of leveling and starting there, building on it.
Gotcha. Now, my next question, you may not want to answer this or not, but why do you feel like the education world, schools, and the curriculum don't teach this?
I mean, when I look back on it, everything is so outdated in education. We're teaching Latin, or we're teaching the Russian Revolution, or we're teaching, how to boil eggs, and that's all great stuff. But for whatever reason, education is so resistant to changing. And I'm not sure why, but really what schools are designed to do are to create good employees who can conform, who can follow rules, and knowing what I know now, again, still so much to learn. I almost wonder if the system's designed to create that, because, if you have a world full of entrepreneurs or people who are making it on their own without a boss, then do businesses exist like they currently do? So, I mean, there needs to be an overhaul in what's taught and how it's taught, because it's just antiquated. I was part of that system. I'm not any longer, and there are definitely changes that need to take place.
Do you see a path forward where this kind of education could be introduced into either homeschooling or the mainstream education?
I definitely think homeschooling, because, I mean, you have the ultimate freedom to decide what you're going to teach to your children. So it definitely can work there. But when you get into public education, for instance, it's so political. And, a lot of people too, when they hear that, like, oh, what do you do these days? Well, I'm a day trader. And you get the look like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's a big scam. People don't believe it. So it's overcoming those objections. And there are school leaders out there, school districts who are progressive and know the value of it and see it. So I think can work in some schools who have visionary people who are open to change and new ideas, but there are other school districts that are not going to be open to it. So I think it's kind of a hit or miss, but I definitely believe that it should be taught. Real estate should be taught. Just really being in charge of your finances, your own economy. I mean, it's critical. It's super important.
Cool. No, that's awesome.
I know you have Replace Your Dollar. Tell us a little bit about that and what got you into that and what it's all about.
Yeah. So can you guys hang on one second? I have to open my car for my wife and kids.
Gotcha.
Open now. Yeah. So Replace Your Dollar is part of Replace Your University. Michael Lush, Replace Your Mortgage, Edmund Fontana, who I was talking about, who does the whole Replace Your Employer real estate. So Replace Your Dollar is basically real life trading's education that is offered through Replace Your University. And what I have had the opportunity to do is take that education, take what I've learned, and work with clients from the Replace Your University world and introduce them and teach them trading. So that teaching background that I have, I was a high school English teacher. I wasn't a math guy. But I get to satisfy and scratch my itch for teaching and the trading piece, by working with people who are new to the world of trading.
That is super cool. That is really cool. So what's in store for you down the road?
Yeah. So, so much. So working with Jeremy, has been amazing, and just being a part of real life trading, getting to know everybody through. I feel like, being in the trading rooms, you feel like you know everybody. I'm like, oh my God, I'm here with Dan and I'm here with Tracy doing the volume profile class. But just seeing what's possible, like I'm just so excited about what's ahead. And I just want to share this with everybody. I want everybody to know how to trade. I want everybody to be a part of this world. So just sharing that with everyone, but then also too, telling my story. So I'm writing my first book. It's called How to Be a Quitter. For those people who were in similar situations like I was, I read a lot, and I was looking for a book like, hey, how do you actually go through this? So I'm trying to detail, what that looked like for me, how I felt. And then just from a trading standpoint, I'm just trying to learn as much as I possibly can. I'm really trying to study economics, understand the global economy, the Federal Reserve. I just finished up reading the Dow theory a couple months ago. I'm just trying to take everything in, and I want to know as much as possible. So I think that's the educator in me. Just, if somebody asks me questions about the markets or any type of tradable instrument, I want to be able to answer it. Because I love this stuff. People used to ask me like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And even as a principal, I didn't know, but I can literally say that I want to be a trader when I grow up, and like I get to do that every day. And I'm sure you guys feel the same. Like when it's Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, it's like, oh man, I gotta wait till Monday.
You just get this void in your
Oh yeah.
in your soul. You're like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't gotten into crypto yet, but I think that's next. And I could trade on the weekends a little bit, carve out a little bit.
I feel like that's true with like even just people I know. Like if you're working 9 to 5, those people get really excited for the weekend. But if you're like day trading and doing what you love, you're just looking forward to like that Monday to start. It's
Yeah.
bananas. I don't know.
Futures at 6 p.m. on Sunday. I'm always looking. Like, all
Yeah.
right, where are we at?
As soon as 6 o'clock, no matter where I am, I got to pull up the app and just like, oh, gap up,
Yeah.
gap down.
Or,
No,
or
no
better
move.
yet, you're upset because they just introduced a new holiday. It's like, really? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Another long weekend. Yeah.
I
I
know.
celebrate nothing.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh,
What would be 5 things that you would tell either a new trader or a struggling trader that's either looking to transition or just having a from your journey? What would you tell the new traders?
Yeah, I think number one is just don't give up and don't quit. You guys were saying that the people who stick with this and stay after it are the most successful. And I think the statistic is what 95% of people who try to day trade end up quitting. And it makes sense because it's easy to give up. But if you can push through, that's gonna the successes are waiting for you. But you have to put in the work. You have to. This is not a get rich quick scheme. The markets will humble you very, very quickly. So you have to work hard. So don't quit, work hard, study, back trade. I think having a coach and a mentor is critical. Why wouldn't you want to listen or work with somebody who has been there and lived it and can help you avoid a lot of mistakes? And that's what Jeremy was able to help me do. And even today, and 5, that's a lot. So 4 would be take it slow. I said that earlier too. The longer that you can give yourself to arrive where you're in a sustainable position, I think is better because it's going to take pressure off you and you're not going to be stressed like I was. And then number 5, be a part of a community of people who want to learn trading, who want to share their knowledge. With RLT, the Slack group, I love just reading, the different posts or charts or trades that people will take or different ideas that they have. And the one thing I really like is just seeing opposing viewpoints on, one chart could look tremendously bullish to someone, and then somebody else looks at it, it's like, oh, there's a lot of weakness here. It's bearish. So, being part of that community, there's different ideas. I think if you have all 5 of those things going for you, you could really make progress and be in a good spot in the world of trading.
Love it. And I like the word involved, right? So just joining a community, that's one thing. Being involved in it, that's another. You've always been involved. I mean, you can see how you've kind of developed as a trader, and glad to have you on the podcast. Unfortunately, we're just about out of time. Tracy, always good to host with you. Jeremy, Hritz. I said it right this time, right? So I got you. Jeremy, good to have you on, and we'll see you in the room as always. For anybody listening to this on YouTube, you're more than welcome to join us live each and every day. We do trade live. We have all the videos, education. Check out reallifetrading.com and catch all our videos. They'll probably pop up right here. Check us out later. We'll catch you guys on the next Pivot podcast. Later, guys.